The bass thumped through my chest, a heartbeat louder than my own, as I stood frozen in the corner of a crowded living room. Lily, my roommate, my straight roommate, laughed across the room, her blonde hair catching the glow of string lights like a halo. I'd been in love with her for months, and tonight, she dragged me to this party with a grin and a promise of fun. But I never expected this. Emma leaned against the wall, nursing a lukewarm beer she hadn't touched in 20 minutes. The party was a blur of bodies, laughter, and clinking glasses, but her eyes kept drifting to Lily. Her roommate was magnetic, twirling through the crowd in a pink dress that hugged her frame, her laughter cutting through the noise like a melody. Emma, at 22, had known she was a lesbian since high school, but loving Lily straight, carefree Lily felt like chasing a star she'd never catch. They'd been roommates for a year at their small liberal arts college in Portland, Oregon, sharing late-night talks, takeout dinners, and quiet moments that left Emma's heart aching. Tonight, though, something felt different. Lily had insisted Emma come, her blue eyes bright with an intensity Emma couldn't place. "You're brooding again," Lily teased, appearing suddenly at Emma's side, her breath warm with the scent of wine. She nudged Emma's shoulder, her touch lingering a second too long. "Come on, you promised to have fun." Emma forced a smile, her hazel eyes meeting Lily's. "I'm here, aren't I? That's half the battle." Lily rolled her eyes but grabbed Emma's hand, pulling her toward the makeshift dance floor in the backyard. The night air was crisp, carrying the scent of pine and cigarette smoke. String lights crisscrossed above, casting a golden glow over the crowd. Emma's heart stuttered as Lily's fingers stayed laced with hers, guiding her through the throng. "Dance with me," Lily said, her voice softer now, almost a challenge. "I don't dance," Emma muttered, but her feet followed anyway, drawn by the pull of Lily's grin. They moved together, awkward at first, then fluid, their bodies finding a rhythm under the stars. Emma's leather jacket felt too warm, her pulse too loud. Lily's hand rested on her waist, and for a moment, the world shrank to just them two women, one heartbeat, one unspoken question hanging in the air. The song ended, but Lily didn't let go. Instead, she leaned closer, her lips brushing Emma's ear. "You're different tonight," she whispered. Emma's breath caught, her mind racing. Was this real, or was she reading too much into Lily's wine-fueled warmth? Before she could respond, a guy from their psych class stumbled over, breaking the spell. "Lily, you're killing it," he slurred, pulling her into a clumsy hug. Emma stepped back, the moment slipping away like sand. The night wore on and Emma retreated to her corner, watching Lily charm the room. She was used to this loving from a distance, swallowing the ache. But then just past midnight, Lily found her again, her cheeks flushed, her eyes wide. "Come with me," she said, grabbing Emma's wrist. There was no teasing now, just urgency. Emma followed, her heart pounding as Lily led her upstairs, away from the noise, into a quiet bedroom lit by a single lamp. The door clicked shut, and the world fell silent. Lily turned, her face unreadable, her hands trembling slightly. "Emma, I need to tell you something," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "I've been thinking about you. A lot. And it's confusing me." Emma froze, her heart a wild drumbeat. "What do you mean?" she asked, her voice cracking. She'd spent months hiding her feelings, convinced Lily could never feel the same. Straight girls didn't just change, did they? Lily stepped closer, her blue eyes searching Emma's. "I don't know what I'm doing," she admitted, her voice raw. "But when I'm with you, I feel alive. Like I'm seeing myself for the first time." She reached out, her fingers brushing Emma's cheek, and Emma's world tilted. Was this a confession? A mistake? The air crackled with possibility, but fear clawed at Emma's chest. What if this was a fleeting moment, a party-induced whim that would break her heart by morning? Before Emma could speak, Lily leaned in, her lips hovering inches from Emma's. The room spun, the weight of 1,000 unspoken words pressing down. Then a knock at the door shattered the silence. "Lily? You in there?" a voice called, sharp and impatient. It was Sarah, Lily's best friend, who'd never hidden her disdain for Emma. Lily pulled back, her face pale. I need to go," she stammered, her eyes darting to the door. She slipped out, leaving Emma alone, her heart a tangled mess of hope and dread. The party's noise flooded back, but Emma felt like she was drowning. What had just happened? And what would tomorrow bring? The next morning, Emma woke to the smell of coffee and the weight of last night's almost kiss. Lily was in the kitchen, humming softly, acting like nothing had changed. But everything had. Emma sat at their tiny table, her hands wrapped around a mug, her mind replaying every word, every touch. "You okay?" Lily asked, her tone casual but her eyes cautious. "Yeah," Emma lied, her voice tight. She wanted to ask about last night, to demand answers, but fear held her back. Instead, she watched Lily move through their morning routine, her blonde hair tied back, her smile as bright as ever. But there was a new tension between them, a fragile thread stretched taut. Over the next few days, Lily was her usual self, chatty, warm, infuriatingly perfect, but she avoided being alone with Emma. Late-night talks became rare, and Emma felt the distance growing like a chasm. She threw herself into her art classes, sketching Lily's face in secret, each stroke a confession she couldn't voice. But the memory of that night burned, a question she couldn't shake. Did Lily feel it too? Or was it just a moment of confusion? One evening, Emma found Lily sitting on their couch, staring at her phone, her face pale. "What's wrong?" Emma asked, her heart lurching. Lily looked up, her eyes glistening. "Sarah saw us at the party. She's not okay with it. She thinks I'm making a mistake." Her voice broke and Emma's stomach twisted. Sarah's influence over Lily was strong, a bond forged in high school that Emma could never compete with. "She says I'm not, that way. That I'm just confused." Emma's chest tightened. "And what do you think?" she asked, her voice barely steady. Lily's silence was deafening. She stood, brushing past Emma to grab her coat. "I need to clear my head," she said, and then she was gone, leaving Emma with a sinking feeling that whatever had sparked between them was slipping away. The days after Lily's abrupt exit stretched into a week of agonizing silence. Emma tried to focus on her classes, her sketches, anything to keep her mind off the ache in her chest, but Lily's absence was a shadow she couldn't escape. Their apartment, once a haven of shared laughter, felt hollow, the air heavy with unspoken words. Lily came home late, her eyes avoiding Emma's, her smiles forced. Emma wanted to scream, to demand answers, but fear of pushing Lily further away kept her quiet. One night Emma sat cross-legged on her bed, her sketchbook open to a half-finished drawing of Lily's face, those blue eyes, that soft curve of her jaw. The pencil trembled in her hand as she traced the lines, each one a silent confession. She'd always been guarded, her heart a fortress built from years of small-town judgment back in Idaho. But Lily had slipped past her walls, her warmth and ease making Emma believe, just for a moment, that love could be simple. Now that hope felt like a cruel trick. The front door creaked open and Emma's heart jumped. Lily's footsteps were soft, hesitant, as she appeared in Emma's doorway. Her blonde hair was messy, her cheeks flushed from the chilly Portland night. "Can we talk?" Lily asked, her voice small. Emma nodded, closing her sketchbook, her pulse racing. Lily sat on the edge of the bed, her hands twisting in her lap. "I've been avoiding you," she admitted, her eyes fixed on the floor. "I'm sorry. It's just, Sarah's been in my head, and I'm so confused." Emma's throat tightened. "About what?" she asked, though she feared the answer. Lily's gaze flicked up, raw and searching. "About you. About us. That night at the party. I felt something real. But I've never felt that way about a girl before, and it scares me." Her voice cracked, and Emma's heart ached at the vulnerability in it. "Sarah says it's not who I am, that I'm just caught up in the moment. But when I'm with you, Emma, it's like I'm more me than I've ever been." Emma's breath hitched. She wanted to reach out, to pull Lily close, but doubt held her back. "What are you saying, Lily?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. "I don't know," Lily said, her eyes glistening. "I just know I can't stop thinking about you. But I'm scared of what it means, of what people will think. Sarah's already pulling away, and my family. They wouldn't understand." Emma's chest burned with a mix of hope and frustration. She'd faced those fears herself, coming out to her conservative parents, enduring their disappointed silence. But hearing Lily voice them felt different, like a mirror reflecting her own past. "You don't have to have all the answers right now," Emma said, her voice steady despite the storm inside. "But you have to be honest with yourself. Not with Sarah, not with your family with you." Lily nodded, tears spilling down her cheeks. She reached for Emma's hand, her fingers trembling but warm. I want to try, she whispered. I want to figure this out. With you. For a moment they sat there, hands clasped, the world outside their tiny apartment fading away. Emma's heart soared, but a quiet voice warned her. This was only the beginning. Lily's world was built on straight lines, family expectations, lifelong friendships, a clear path. Emma's love was a curve, a disruption, and she wasn't sure Lily was ready for the fallout. The next day, they fell into a fragile new rhythm. Lily was tentative, her smile shy but genuine. They cooked dinner together, their shoulders brushing as they chopped vegetables, the air charged with possibility. Emma caught Lily stealing glances, her blue eyes soft with something unspoken. But Sarah's shadow lingered. Emma overheard a heated phone call. Lily's voice strained as she defended herself. It's not like that, Sarah. You don't get it. When Lily hung up, her face was pale, her hands shaking. She's coming over tomorrow, Lily said, avoiding Emma's gaze. She wants to talk. About us. Emma's stomach dropped. Sarah's disapproval wasn't just a friend's opinion, it was a force. A tether pulling Lily back to the safety of her old life. What do you want, Lily? Emma asked, her voice quiet but firm. Lily looked at her, eyes wide with fear and determination. I want to be brave, she said. For you. For me. The next evening, Sarah arrived, her presence filling the apartment like a storm cloud. She was tall, sharp-edged, her dark hair pulled back tightly. She barely acknowledged Emma, her focus on Lily. You're throwing everything away, Sarah said, her voice low but cutting. Your family, your future, for what? A phase. Emma's fists clenched, but she stayed silent, watching Lily's face. Lily's jaw tightened, her eyes flashing. It's not a phase, she said, her voice trembling but firm. I'm figuring out who I am, Sarah. And Emma. She's part of that. Sarah's eyes narrowed, flicking to Emma with disdain. You're letting her pull you into this. You're not like her. The words stung, but Emma held her ground. Lily stepped closer to her, their shoulders brushing. I'm not like anyone, Lily said, her voice stronger now. I'm me. And I'm choosing this. Sarah left without another word, the door slamming behind her. The silence that followed was heavy, but Lily's hand found Emma's, her grip fierce. For the first time, Emma felt a spark of real hope, not just for a moment, but for something more. The weeks that followed were a delicate dance of discovery. Lily and Emma tiptoed into something new, their connection deepening in stolen moments, a brush of hands over coffee, a shared laugh in the dark, a kiss that lingered longer each time. But the world outside their apartment wasn't as forgiving. Sarah's absence left a void in Lily's life, and whispers from their college campus began to spread. Emma noticed the glances, the hushed conversations in the cafeteria. Lily, once the golden girl everyone adored, was now a question mark, her choices scrutinized. One chilly October evening they walked home from a lecture, their breath visible in the crisp air. Lily's hand slipped into Emma's, her fingers cold but steady. People are talking, Lily said quietly, her eyes fixed on the sidewalk. I heard someone in class today. They called me confused. Emma's heart twisted. She squeezed Lily's hand, her voice soft but firm. They don't know you. They don't get to define you. Lily stopped, turning to face Emma under a flickering streetlight. Her blue eyes were fierce, but there was fear there too. I know. But it's hard, Emma. I've always been the good girl, the one who fits in. Now I feel like I'm breaking everything. Emma reached up, tucking a strand of blonde hair behind Lily's ear. You're not breaking anything, she said. You're building something new. Something real. Lily's smile was small but genuine, and she leaned into Emma's touch. They kissed, slow and deliberate, the world fading to nothing but the warmth of their breath. For a moment, Emma believed they could weather anything: gossip, judgment, the weight of Lily's old life. But doubt lingered, a quiet hum in the back of her mind. The tension broke a week later, when Lily's parents called. Emma was sketching in her room when she heard Lily's voice rise, sharp and defensive. No, Mom, it's not like that. I'm not. I'm just figuring things out. The call ended with Lily in tears, her phone clattering to the table. Emma found her curled on the couch, her face buried in her hands. They want me to come home for Thanksgiving, Lily said, her voice muffled. They heard about us. Someone from church told them, and now they think I'm lost. Emma sat beside her, her heart aching. What did you tell them? Lily looked up, her eyes red. I told them I'm happy. That you make me happy. But they don't get it. They want me to talk to our pastor, like it's something to fix. Emma's chest tightened. She'd faced this before, her own parents' rejection, the sermons about sin. But seeing Lily hurt, caught between love and family, was a different kind of pain. You don't have to go, Emma said. You can stay here. With me. Lily shook her head, her voice breaking. I can't just cut them off, Emma. They're my family. But I don't want to lose you either. The words hung between them, heavy with truth. Emma pulled Lily close, holding her as she cried, but fear gnawed at her. Lily's world was unraveling, and Emma couldn't shake the feeling that she was the cause. The next day, Lily was quieter, her smiles rare. Emma tried to keep things light, suggesting a movie night, but the air felt charged, like a storm waiting to break. That evening, as they watched a rom-com, Lily's phone buzzed with a text. She glanced at it, her face paling. It's my mom, she said, her voice flat. She's coming to visit. Tomorrow. Emma's stomach dropped. Here? To Portland. Lily nodded, her hands twisting in her lap. She wants to talk. In person. I don't know what to do, Emma. Emma reached for her hand, her voice steady despite the panic rising in her chest. You don't have to face her alone. I'll be here. Lily's eyes met hers, filled with gratitude but also fear. What if she makes me choose? She whispered. Emma didn't have an answer. She wanted to say Lily wouldn't have to, that love could conquer everything, but she knew better. The world wasn't a rom-com, and happy endings weren't guaranteed. That night they fell asleep tangled together, but Emma's dreams were restless, filled with images of Lily walking away. The next morning, Lily's mother, Ellen, arrived. She was a polished woman in her 50s, her blonde hair as perfect as Lily's, her smile tight with disapproval. She barely acknowledged Emma, her focus on her daughter. They sat in the living room, the tension thick enough to choke on. Lily, you're throwing away everything we raised you to be, Ellen said, her voice calm but cutting. This lifestyle isn't you. Emma's fists clenched, but she stayed silent, watching Lily's face. Lily's jaw tightened, her eyes flashing with defiance. You don't know me as well as you think, Mom, she said, her voice trembling but firm. I love Emma. And I'm not ashamed of that. Ellen's face hardened. You're confused. You need to come home, talk to Pastor John. We can fix this. Lily stood, her hands shaking. I'm not broken, she said, her voice rising. And I'm not leaving. Ellen left without another word, her heels clicking on the hardwood. Lily collapsed onto the couch, her body shaking with sobs. Emma wrapped her arms around her, whispering words of comfort, but the victory felt hollow. Lily had chosen her, but at what cost? The fallout from Ellen's visit lingered like a bruise. Lily was quieter, her laughter rare, her eyes often distant. Emma tried to fill the silence with small gestures, coffee in bed, playlists of Lily's favorite songs, sketches left on her pillow, but the weight of Lily's family's rejection was heavy. Emma knew that pain too well, and it killed her to see it in Lily's eyes. Still, they clung to each other, their love a fragile anchor in the storm. One night, as they lay in bed, Lily traced circles on Emma's palm, her voice soft. I keep thinking about what my mom said, about me being confused. What if she's right, Emma? What if I'm just lost? Emma's heart clenched. She propped herself up, looking into Lily's eyes. You're not lost, she said fiercely. You're finding yourself. And I'm here, Lily. I'm not going anywhere. Lily's smile was small, but she leaned in, kissing Emma with a desperation that spoke of fear and need. Their love was a rebellion, a quiet defiance against the world's judgment, but Emma couldn't shake the feeling that Lily was still teetering on the edge of doubt. The campus gossip grew louder, fueled by Sarah's absence and Lily's newfound openness. They held hands in public now, but each touch drew stares, some curious, some cruel. Emma was used to itched-faced worse in her small hometown, but Lily flinched at the whispers, her confidence wavering. One afternoon, they were leaving the library when a group of guys from Lily's old friend circle passed by, their laughter sharp. Didn't know you swung that way, Lily, one called, his tone mocking. Lily's face flushed, her hand tightening in Emma's. Ignore them, Emma whispered, but Lily's eyes were bright with tears. That night she barely spoke, retreating to her room with her phone, scrolling through old photos of her and Sarah, her family, her old life. Emma's fear grew. She loved Lily with every piece of her heart, but she couldn't force her to stay in this fight. The world was cruel to people like them, and Lily was new to this battle. Emma had scars. Lily was still bleeding. A week later, Lily came home with a determined look in her eyes. I want to go to the Pride event downtown, she said, her voice steady. I want to show the world I'm not ashamed. Emma's heart swelled, but worry gnawed at her. Are you sure? She asked. It's a big step. Lily nodded, her jaw set. I'm tired of hiding. I want to be with you, Emma. Out in the open. The Pride event was a burst of color and sound, rainbow flags, music, laughter filling the streets of Portland. Emma and Lily walked hand in hand, their faces painted with glitter, their smiles tentative but real. For the first time, Emma saw Lily relax, her shoulders loosening as she laughed with strangers, danced to the music, and kissed Emma under a canopy of balloons. It felt like a victory, a moment of pure joy. But joy was fleeting. As they left the event, a man in a black jacket stood on the corner, holding a sign that read, "Repent or burn." His voice was loud, venomous, spitting words of hate at the crowd. Lily froze, her hand tightening in Emma's. Let's go, Emma said, pulling her away, but Lily's eyes were locked on the man, her face pale. That night, Lily was quiet again, her spark dimmed. Emma found her staring at a photo of her family, her thumb tracing her mother's face. I miss them, Lily whispered. I know they're wrong, but they're my family. Emma's heart sank. She wanted to fight for Lily, to keep her in this new world they built, but she couldn't make her stay. You have to do what's right for you, Emma said, her voice breaking. I love you, Lily, but I can't make you choose me. Lily's eyes filled with tears. I don't want to lose you, she said, her voice raw. But I don't know how to do this. They fell asleep holding each other, but Emma felt the distance growing, a crack in their foundation. The next morning Lily was gone, a note on the table. I need time. I'm sorry. Emma's world shattered, the silence deafening. She sat on the couch, clutching the note, her tears falling onto the paper. Had she pushed too hard? Had she lost Lily for good? The apartment was a ghost town without Lily. Emma moved through the days like a shadow, her sketches abandoned, her heart heavy. She checked her phone obsessively, hoping for a text, a call, anything. But Lily was gone, back to her family in Seattle, or so Emma assumed. The note was all she had, its words burned into her mind. I need time. Time for what? To forget Emma? To rebuild the life she'd left behind? Weeks passed and Emma threw herself into her art, her pain spilling onto the canvas in bold, angry strokes. She painted Lily, her smile, her eyes, the curve of her neck, each piece a love letter she'd never send. The campus felt emptier without Lily's laughter, and Emma avoided the places they'd gone together, the coffee shop, the library, the park. But the memories were everywhere, sharp and unrelenting. One night, Emma went to a local art show, her paintings displayed alongside other students. She stood by her work, a series of abstracts inspired by Lily, their colors vibrant with love and loss. A woman approached, her voice soft. These are incredible, she said. They feel alive. Emma smiled, but her heart wasn't in it. She missed Lily with every breath. As the show ended, Emma felt a presence behind her. She turned and there was Lily, her blonde hair tucked under a beanie, her blue eyes bright with tears. Emma, she said, her voice trembling. I'm so sorry. Emma's heart stopped. Lily? What? What are you doing here? Lily stepped closer, her hands twisting nervously. I went home. I tried to be the person they wanted me to be. But every day I felt like I was losing myself. I missed you. I missed us. Her voice broke and she reached for Emma's hand. I love you, Emma. I'm done running. Emma's tears fell, her heart a tangle of hope and fear. What about your family? Sarah? The world out there? Lily's grip tightened. They don't get to decide who I am. I talked to my mom. It's not perfect, but she's trying to understand. And Sarah? She's not my friend if she can't accept me. She paused, her eyes searching Emma's. I choose you. I choose us. Emma pulled Lily close, their foreheads touching, their breaths mingling. The world didn't disappear, the judgment, the fear, the pain, but in that moment it didn't matter. They kissed slow and deep, a promise sealed under the dim gallery lights. The road ahead would be hard, but they'd face it together. Their love a quiet rebellion against a world that tried to tear them apart. They moved back into their apartment, rebuilding their life piece by piece. Lily started therapy, working through the guilt and fear, while Emma painted, her art brighter now, filled with hope. They went to Pride again the next year, hand in hand, their faces painted with glitter, their laughter louder than the hate. Lily's family was a work in progress, but her mother sent a tentative text one day. I'm trying. I love you. It was small, but it was enough. Emma and Lily weren't perfect. They fought, they doubted, they stumbled. But they loved fiercely. Their bond a testament to the courage it takes to be true to yourself. One night, as they lay in bed, Lily whispered, "Thank you for waiting for me." Emma smiled, her heart full. "I'd wait forever," she said. And she meant it. Their story wasn't just about love, it was about finding the strength to rewrite your own narrative, to choose truth over fear, to build a home in someone else's heart. And for Emma and Lily, that was the most beautiful rebellion of all. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe to get notifications about next videos.